Have you ever wondered why some young women seem drawn to older men? Maybe you've seen it in your own family or noticed it out in the world. It's a topic that people talk about quietly, sometimes with raised eyebrows, but I think it deserves an honest look. Relationships, no matter the age difference, are built on connection, shared understanding, and mutual respect. And sometimes, older men bring qualities to a relationship that younger women deeply value. Wisdom, emotional stability, patience, these things come with age and life experience. Today, I'm going to share 8 compelling reasons why young women feel drawn to older men. We'll talk about what makes these relationships so unique, from the life lessons older men bring to the emotional stability that maturity can offer. Along the way, I'll share some personal stories and insights to help us understand this dynamic more deeply. So stick around until the end, because these insights might just change the way you view love, connection, and relationships, at any age. Before we begin, if this sounds like the kind of content you're interested in, make sure to hit that subscribe button for golden aging and turn on notifications so you never miss our tips on living fully at every age. Your support truly helps us reach more people looking to make their golden years healthier and happier. And if you like the topic of this video, please comment 1 below. If it doesn't quite resonate, just comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Let's dive right in. Point 1. Wisdom and life experience. Wisdom is one of those qualities that cannot be rushed or faked. It's something that grows with the passing of time, shaped by decades of experiences, challenges, and lessons learned. For many younger women, this wisdom that older men bring to a relationship can be incredibly attractive. It's not about knowing all the answers, but about approaching life and love with a calm understanding and an ability to offer perspective that only comes with age. You see, when you've been around for a while, you've faced life's ups and downs. You've learned what matters and what doesn't. You've seen how fleeting youth can be, how quickly life can shift, and how important it is to hold on to what really counts: love, respect, and genuine connection. That perspective, that ability to see the bigger picture, is something that younger men are often still trying to figure out. Younger women, who may still be navigating the uncertainty of life, are naturally drawn to older men who have weathered life's storms and come out stronger on the other side. Let me share a story to illustrate this. Years ago, I worked with a gentleman named Jack. Jack was in his early 60s when he met a woman 20 years younger than him. She was vibrant, curious, and still in the process of finding herself. Jack, on the other hand, had spent decades building a successful career and a fulfilling life. He had been married before, raised kids, and experienced loss. When they got together, she often told him, "You make me feel grounded." It wasn't because he had all the answers. Jack wasn't trying to fix her life. It was because he had lived enough to know how to listen, how to reassure her when things felt uncertain, and how to help her see that life is a journey worth embracing, even with its setbacks. That's what wisdom does. It brings a sense of calm to a relationship. It reminds both partners that life isn't about perfection, it's about perseverance. An older man doesn't need to play games or prove himself. He's already figured out who he is and what he values. He brings confidence, insight, and a sense of perspective that can help his partner see the beauty in life, even during its most chaotic moments. Now, wisdom isn't just about life lessons, it's also about emotional intelligence. Over time, older men learn how to handle emotions with care. They know when to speak, when to listen, and when to let things go. They've had enough experiences to understand that holding grudges or blowing small problems out of proportion doesn't lead to happiness. They've learned that relationships thrive on communication, understanding, and patience, qualities that only get stronger as you grow older. When I was younger, I remember how easy it was to get caught up in the small stuff. A disagreement would feel like the end of the world. I'd lose sleep over the tiniest things, what someone said, what someone didn't say. But as I got older, I realized that so many of those things didn't matter. Older men bring that clarity to a relationship. They don't get riled up over the small stuff, and they're not afraid to sit down and work through the bigger issues with calm and care. Younger women, particularly those who are still figuring out their place in the world, often find this emotional steadiness reassuring. Life can feel overwhelming: career pressures, family expectations, personal struggles, and having someone who can provide guidance and perspective makes all the difference. Older men don't panic when life throws a curveball because they've seen it all before. They've been through financial ups and downs, health scares, and relationship challenges, and they've learned how to adapt and move forward. Beyond that, older men often share stories that enrich a younger partner's life. They bring a lifetime of experiences to the table, stories of their travels, their accomplishments, their failures, and their triumphs. For younger women, these stories are a window into a different time, a chance to learn and grow from someone who has walked a path they haven't yet traveled. It's like having a living history book and a life coach rolled into one. I recall a conversation I once had with an older friend of mine. He told me about how he traveled the world when he was younger, meeting people from all walks of life and seeing cultures so different from his own. When he began dating a woman younger than him, he would share those stories with her, not to impress her, but to inspire her. He encouraged her to embrace life's adventures, to take risks, and to pursue her passions. In turn, she brought new energy and excitement into his life, reminding him that it's never too late to dream or try something new. That's the beauty of these connections. They're built on mutual inspiration, where one person's wisdom meets another's curiosity. In conclusion, wisdom and life experience are among the most valuable things an older man can offer. It's not about being perfect or having all the answers. It's about offering perspective, stability, and emotional maturity. For younger women, this wisdom can be a guiding light, helping them see life through a new lens and appreciate the lessons that come with age. If you're still with me and enjoying this so far, let me know in the comments by dropping a 2 below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how wisdom and life experience shape relationships. Older men bring something special to the table, a lifetime of understanding, stories, and insights that can help deepen a relationship in ways that go far beyond the surface. And that, my friends, is a gift worth cherishing. Point 2. Emotional stability and maturity. Emotional stability and maturity are two qualities that come with age and experience, qualities that younger women often find deeply appealing in older men. Life has a way of teaching us patience, perspective, and resilience, and these lessons shape how we respond to challenges, conflicts, and emotions as we grow older. Unlike the impulsive reactions or emotional swings that sometimes accompany youth, older men tend to approach relationships with a calm, steady hand and a deeper understanding of human nature. You see, when you've been through life's ups and downs, you gain a sense of what truly matters and what doesn't. You've weathered career struggles, personal losses, family challenges, and relationship heartbreak. These experiences don't make you jaded, they make you wise. They teach you how to handle difficult situations with grace and composure. It's this calmness that creates a sense of security in a relationship, and for younger women navigating life's uncertainties, that stability can be incredibly reassuring. Let me tell you about my friend Harold. He's in his mid-70s now, and I remember when he met his wife, Carol, who was much younger than him at the time. Carol had come out of a relationship with someone her age that left her feeling drained. Every disagreement turned into a shouting match. Every setback seemed like the end of the world. Then she met Harold. What struck her most was his emotional steadiness. He didn't get angry over the little things. He knew how to listen, how to give her space when she needed it, and how to approach disagreements without raising his voice or making her feel unheard. One day, Carol told me, "Being with Harold feels like breathing fresh air. He doesn't make me feel like I'm walking on eggshells. He's patient, kind, and when something bothers me, he's the first to sit me down and say, 'Let's talk about this.'" That's the beauty of emotional stability. It creates an environment where both partners feel safe to express themselves honestly, without fear of judgment or escalation. Older men understand that life isn't perfect, and neither are relationships. They've learned to pick their battles and let go of the small stuff. Where a younger man might become defensive or insecure during an argument, an older man is more likely to stay calm, listen, and focus on finding a solution. This maturity allows relationships to thrive because both partners feel respected and heard. Younger women, who may still be learning how to navigate their emotions, appreciate having a partner who can model what emotional maturity looks like and create a space of peace in their lives. You know, when I was younger, I thought passion meant intensity, that fiery highs and lows were what defined love. But as I got older, I realized that true love is steady. It's not about constant excitement or proving yourself. It's about showing up day after day with kindness, understanding, and patience. That's what emotional stability offers. It's a reminder that love doesn't have to be chaotic to be real. In fact, the strongest relationships are often the calmest ones. Another thing that sets older men apart is their ability to process emotions constructively. Many younger men are still learning how to deal with anger, disappointment, or stress in healthy ways. Older men, on the other hand, have had decades to learn these skills. They've discovered that bottling up emotions doesn't solve anything, and neither does losing your temper. Instead, they've learned to communicate calmly, share their feelings openly, and work through challenges as a team. Think about this. When a young couple faces financial trouble or a career setback, it can feel like the end of the world. Emotions run high, blame gets thrown around, and suddenly the relationship feels fragile. But an older man has seen these struggles before. He knows they're just bumps in the road and that with patience and teamwork, things can get better. That sense of reassurance is priceless, especially for a younger partner who may not have that same perspective. This maturity also extends to how older men treat their partners. They're less likely to play games, less interested in seeking validation, and more focused on creating a meaningful, lasting connection. Older men have learned that a relationship isn't a competition, it's a partnership. They don't need to win an argument or prove their worth. They've already found confidence in who they are. That confidence brings a sense of calm to the relationship, and younger women appreciate the peace and security that comes with it. In many ways, emotional stability is like a rock in the middle of a storm. Life can be chaotic, unpredictable, and overwhelming at times, but having someone by your side who remains steady and strong makes all the difference. Younger women, who are often juggling careers, family pressures, and personal growth, find comfort in that steadiness. They know they can rely on their older partner not just as a lover, but as a teammate and a source of strength. Point 3. Financial stability. Financial stability is often a topic people hesitate to talk about openly in relationships, but let's be honest, security matters. It doesn't mean relationships are purely transactional or about money, but having financial stability provides a sense of safety, comfort, and peace of mind that allows love and connection to thrive. For younger women, an older man often represents someone who has spent decades working, saving, and building a foundation for himself. This stability, both financial and emotional, naturally becomes an appealing quality, especially in a world where uncertainty often feels like the norm. When a man reaches a certain point in his life, he's likely overcome financial struggles, learned how to manage money wisely, and established a lifestyle that reflects years of hard work and planning. He no longer lives paycheck to paycheck or spends money frivolously like he may have when he was younger. Instead, older men have gained the knowledge and discipline that come from balancing budgets, saving for the future, and making smart financial decisions. This financial maturity creates a solid foundation for a relationship because it removes many of the worries that constrain younger couples, things like overdue bills, mounting debt, or the stress of living beyond one's means. Let me share a story about my old friend Peter. Peter had worked for over 40 years as a teacher, raising his family and building a stable life for himself. When his first marriage ended and he eventually found himself dating again, he met Sarah, a woman 25 years younger than him. At first, people gossiped and wondered what she saw in him. But Sarah told me something that really stuck with me. She said, "It's not about money, it's about security. Peter knows how to take care of himself and the people he loves. He's not reckless or worried about whether he can make ends meet. I can focus on our connection without the stress of wondering what tomorrow will bring." That's the heart of it right there. Financial stability isn't about showering a partner with luxury gifts or grand gestures. It's about creating an environment where both people can feel secure, relaxed, and able to enjoy the relationship without external pressures. A man who has built financial stability knows how to plan for the future, whether that means saving for retirement, budgeting for a home, or simply ensuring that the bills are paid on time. For younger women, especially those who may still be navigating their careers or uncertain about their own financial footing, being with an older partner who has this stability can feel like a breath of fresh air. Another key aspect of financial stability is independence. An older man with financial security doesn't need to rely on anyone else to meet his needs. He's established, self-sufficient, and confident in his ability to provide for himself and his loved ones. This independence is incredibly attractive because it eliminates the feeling of pressure or codependence that sometimes accompanies younger relationships. It allows the relationship to flourish based on love and connection, rather than financial necessity. Let's not forget that financial stability is also about responsibility. Older men have learned through trial and error how to handle money wisely. They've made mistakes, faced challenges, and come out the other side with a better understanding of how to prioritize what's truly important. This wisdom extends beyond finances. It influences how they approach life in general. A man who manages his money well is often a man who manages his time, energy, and relationships with care and thoughtfulness. Younger women often appreciate this sense of financial responsibility because it reflects a level of maturity and foresight that can be hard to find in younger partners. While younger men may still be in a stage of life where they're figuring things out, older men have already faced the big decisions: buying a house, supporting a family, paying off debt. They know how to prioritize, plan ahead, and weather financial storms without panicking. That kind of steady, level-headed approach to life brings a sense of calm and trust to a relationship. Of course, this isn't to say that financial stability is the only thing that matters in a relationship. Love, respect, and emotional connection are the cornerstones of any lasting partnership. But the truth is, financial stress is one of the leading causes of conflict in relationships. When a man has already worked hard to establish stability, it removes one of the biggest hurdles that many couples face. It allows the focus to shift toward building emotional intimacy, creating shared experiences, and truly enjoying each other's company. If you've ever been through tough financial times, you know how much stress it can put on a relationship. I remember my younger years when my wife and I had to stretch every dollar to make it through the month. We loved each other deeply, but there were days when the stress of unpaid bills made it hard to focus on anything else. As I got older and learned how to manage my finances better, I realized how much freedom and joy come from financial stability. It's not about being wealthy. It's about feeling secure and being able to focus on what truly matters: your partner, your family, and the life you're building together. If you're still with me and enjoying this conversation, go ahead and drop a 2 in the comments below to let me know you're still here. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Point 4. Mentorship and personal growth. Mentorship and personal growth are profound aspects of any meaningful relationship, and older men often play a unique role in guiding and inspiring their younger partners. This mentorship isn't about control or superiority. Rather, it stems from a place of support, encouragement, and sharing the wisdom that comes with experience. For many younger women, being with an older man opens doors to personal development, self-discovery, and emotional growth in ways they might not have anticipated. When you've lived a long life, you gather knowledge, not just about careers or finances, but about relationships, human behavior, and the world in general. Older men have often traveled roads that younger people haven't yet explored. They've made mistakes, overcome obstacles, and learned lessons along the way. This perspective allows them to act as mentors, not in the formal sense, but as partners who naturally offer guidance and support when it's needed. Let me tell you about my old friend George. George met his wife, Emily, when she was in her early 30s. At the time, Emily was at a crossroads in her career and unsure about her direction in life. George, who had already retired after running his own business for decades, never gave her advice in a pushy way. Instead, he shared stories about the challenges he'd faced, how he learned to pick himself up after failures, and the importance of taking risks when the opportunity presented itself. He believed in her potential when she couldn't yet see it for herself. Emily once told me, "George taught me that growth is a lifelong process. He encouraged me to try new things, to fail without fear, and to trust myself more. I became a stronger, more confident woman because of the way he supported me." And that's the beauty of mentorship in relationships. It's not about telling someone what to do. It's about empowering them to discover their own path while knowing they have someone in their corner who believes in them unconditionally. This dynamic doesn't mean that older men take on a parental or condescending role. Quite the opposite. Healthy mentorship is about mutual respect. Older men don't see their partners as projects to fix but as equals with dreams and goals of their own. They bring encouragement, wisdom, and an ability to see the bigger picture because they've been through those struggles themselves. For younger women, this mentorship often feels grounding. They may still be navigating the complexities of their careers, personal growth, or self-worth. An older partner, having experienced those same uncertainties earlier in life, can provide reassurance. He can say, "I've been there before, and it's going to be okay." Or, "Here's what I learned when I faced a similar challenge." This guidance can help younger women approach life with more confidence and clarity. Personal growth isn't just about external success, it's about emotional maturity, too. Older men often have a way of helping their partners develop greater emotional resilience. Their years of experience have taught them how to handle setbacks, communicate effectively, and prioritize what truly matters in life. When a younger woman is with a partner who models these qualities, she learns by example. She begins to see her own potential, her own strength, and her ability to grow into the person she wants to be. It's also important to note that mentorship in these relationships goes both ways. While older men may bring life experience to the table, their younger partners bring a sense of freshness, curiosity, and excitement for life. They encourage their older partners to try new things, to embrace change, and to rediscover parts of themselves they may have set aside over the years. It's a mutually beneficial exchange, where both people learn and grow through the relationship. I remember another couple I knew, Henry and Jess. Henry had always been a cautious, play it safe kind of man, but Jess brought a sense of adventure into his life. She encouraged him to take up photography, a hobby he'd always wanted to try but never felt brave enough to pursue. In return, Henry helped Jess build the confidence to leave a job that was holding her back and start her own small business. Together, they inspired each other to grow in ways they never could have alone. You see, relationships built on mentorship and personal growth are incredibly fulfilling. They're not about staying stagnant, they're about pushing each other to be better versions of yourselves. Younger women in relationships with older men often find that their partners become their biggest cheerleaders and trusted confidants. There's a sense of safety in knowing that someone has walked this path before you and is willing to share their wisdom to help you navigate it. In the end, mentorship and personal growth are cornerstones of any strong relationship, but they shine particularly bright in relationships between younger women and older men. It's about sharing knowledge, supporting dreams, and creating an environment where both partners feel inspired to grow, not just as individuals, but as a team. And when two people grow together, the connection they build becomes unshakable. That's what makes these relationships so special. They're not just about love. They're about becoming the best versions of yourselves together. Point 5. Patience and understanding. Patience and understanding are two qualities that often take decades to develop, and for older men, these traits are some of the most valuable gifts they bring to a relationship. Life teaches us that rushing through things rarely brings happiness, and that true connection requires time, care, and the ability to truly listen. Younger women often find this calm and measured approach to relationships incredibly refreshing, especially in a world where so many people are in a hurry to move on, get their way, or win an argument. You see, when you've lived through the highs and lows of life, you gain a certain perspective that only time can provide. Older men have experienced the storms of relationships before, arguments that seemed like the end of the world, misunderstandings that took weeks to untangle, and moments when walking away felt easier than working things out. But those years teach you something important. the value of slowing down, of listening more than speaking, and of giving your partner space when they need it. This patience is something that younger partners often appreciate deeply because it creates a safe, nurturing environment for love to grow. Let me share a story about my old friend Arthur. Arthur was in his late 60s when he started dating a woman in her early 40s. She once told me that the most striking thing about being with him was his patience. "With Arthur," she said, "I never feel rushed or judged. When I'm upset, he doesn't try to fix things right away. He listens. He gives me time to talk, to cry, or to figure out what I'm feeling." That ability to pause and respond with care rather than react impulsively is something that only comes with age and experience. Arthur had learned long ago that real understanding isn't about offering solutions immediately. It's about being present, offering support, and showing compassion. Younger women often face a whirlwind of pressures, balancing careers, family, friendships, and personal growth. Being with an older man who approaches life with patience gives them the room to breathe. It creates a space where they feel truly heard and valued, rather than pushed or hurried into decisions. Older men understand that relationships are marathons, not sprints. They know that love deepens over time and that real intimacy is built on trust, consistency, and kindness. Another thing about patience is that it allows older men to navigate disagreements with more grace. When we're younger, it's easy to let tempers flare, to throw words we don't mean, or to storm out when things get tough. But over time, you learn that those reactions don't solve anything. Older men tend to approach conflicts with calm and maturity. They've learned to pick their battles, to let go of the small things, and to focus on what really matters. Instead of escalating a disagreement, they're more likely to say, "Let's take a step back and talk this through." For younger women, this emotional steadiness can feel like an anchor in moments of stress or tension. It's not just about disagreements, though. Patience also comes through in the little moments of daily life. Older men tend to move at a slower, more intentional pace. They're more likely to enjoy a quiet cup of coffee in the morning or take time for a long, thoughtful conversation. In relationships, this means they're more present. They don't rush through date nights or conversations. They savor the time spent with their partners. For younger women, who may be used to the fast pace of modern life, this slower, more thoughtful approach can feel like a gift. It reminds them that relationships are about connection, not ticking off boxes or meeting expectations. Understanding is another quality that older men bring to relationships. When you've lived through decades of life experiences, you learn to see people for who they are, flaws and all. Older men understand that no one is perfect, and they don't hold their partners to impossible standards. They know that love isn't about finding someone who never makes mistakes. It's about loving someone through those mistakes and supporting them as they grow. This understanding creates an atmosphere of acceptance where younger women feel safe to be themselves, knowing they won't be judged or criticized. I remember a couple I knew, Brian and Sarah. Sarah often struggled with self-doubt, worried that she wasn't good enough in her career or her relationships. But Brian, who was nearly 30 years older, would gently remind her that she didn't need to prove herself to anyone. He would say, "You're already enough just as you are." That kind of understanding comes from a lifetime of learning to value what really matters in people, their kindness, their honesty, and their ability to grow, not their achievements or perfection. In the end, patience and understanding are qualities that deepen over time. Older men bring these gifts to their relationships because they've learned that love requires more than passion. It requires care, consistency, and compassion. For younger women, being with someone who offers this kind of emotional support and acceptance can be life-changing. It allows them to feel safe, seen, and deeply valued, and that is something truly special. Patience is the glue that holds relationships together, and understanding is the bridge that helps partners grow closer, no matter their age. Point 6. Shared interests and new experiences. One of the beautiful aspects of relationships between older men and younger women is the way shared interests and new experiences come together to create a deeper, more enriching connection. Older men often bring decades of passions, hobbies, and life experiences to the table, and these elements become a foundation for bonding. At the same time, younger women introduce fresh energy, curiosity, and a willingness to try new things, creating a dynamic where both partners learn, grow, and explore life together in ways that neither could have anticipated. Older men have often cultivated a lifetime of interests, whether it's travel, music, art, history, cooking, or even quiet pastimes like gardening and reading. Their wealth of experiences and appreciation for life's simple pleasures can introduce younger partners to hobbies or activities they may have never considered. These shared interests become opportunities for connection and meaningful time together, helping relationships deepen in ways that go beyond surface-level attraction. Take my friend Henry, for example. Henry, who spent years collecting vintage records, never thought much of sharing his passion with others. When he met his partner, Sophie, who was nearly 30 years younger, he introduced her to his music collection, sharing stories of concerts he attended and the albums that had shaped his life. Sophie was fascinated, not just by the music itself, but by the way Henry's stories brought it to life. Before long, they were spending Sunday afternoons together listening to records, exploring new genres of music, and even going to concerts. Henry's love for music brought a sense of nostalgia and joy to Sophie, while Sophie's curiosity gave Henry the excitement of sharing something he loved with someone who truly appreciated it. At the same time, relationships like these aren't just about older men introducing their partners to established interests. They're also about exploring new experiences together. Younger women often bring an energy and willingness to try new things that can inspire their older partners to step out of their comfort zones. For many older men, this newfound sense of adventure is revitalizing. It reminds them that life is full of opportunities to learn and grow, no matter their age. Let me tell you about my neighbor, George, who spent most of his retirement years fishing and tinkering in his garage. When he met a younger partner, Rachel, she had a love for hiking and the outdoors that he had never shared before. At first, George was hesitant. His knees weren't what they used to be, and the idea of trekking through the mountains sounded exhausting. But Rachel's excitement was contagious, and she encouraged him to start small. Before long, George was joining her for short hikes, taking in the fresh air and the stunning views he hadn't seen in years. "I didn't think I'd enjoy it," he once told me. "But being with her reminded me that it's never too late to try something new." That's what makes shared interests and new experiences so powerful. They allow both partners to enrich each other's lives in meaningful ways. Older men offer stability, stories, and a rich history of passions, while younger women bring curiosity, fresh perspectives, and a willingness to explore. Together, they find balance, creating a dynamic where both people feel energized and inspired. It's also important to recognize how these shared activities build emotional connection. Whether it's cooking a new recipe together, traveling to a city neither of you has visited, or even spending quiet evenings reading side by side, these moments create memories that bring you closer. Shared experiences allow you to learn about each other on a deeper level, how your partner reacts to challenges, what makes them laugh, and how they see the world. Beyond that, older men often approach shared interests with patience and appreciation. When you've lived a long life, you understand the importance of slowing down and truly savoring experiences. For younger women, who may be used to a fast-paced, always-on-the-go lifestyle, this perspective is refreshing. It's about being fully present, whether you're sharing a meal, working on a project, or simply enjoying a walk together. I remember a couple, Bill and Emma, who found joy in simple activities like baking bread together. Bill, who had learned the art of baking from his grandmother, taught Emma the process step by step. For Emma, it was about learning a new skill, but for Bill, it was about sharing something deeply meaningful with someone he cared about. As they kneaded the dough and laughed over flour-covered counters, their bond grew stronger. The act of baking became more than a hobby. It became a ritual of connection and love. If you're still here and enjoying this conversation, let me know by commenting 3 down below. I love hearing from you and knowing you're following along. Point 7. Less drama, more stability. One of the most significant reasons younger women feel drawn to older men is the sense of peace and stability they bring to a relationship. Life, especially in our younger years, can sometimes feel like a roller coaster, full of emotional highs, misunderstandings, and unnecessary drama. Older men, on the other hand, often embody a calm, measured approach to life that comes with experience and maturity. For younger women who may have experienced chaotic relationships in the past, this emotional steadiness can be incredibly appealing and refreshing. Let's start with the simple truth. Older men have seen enough of life to understand what really matters and what doesn't. They've been through relationships, arguments, financial pressures, and personal setbacks. With all of that experience comes a level of emotional resilience and patience that younger men are still learning. Older men don't sweat the small stuff. They've learned to let go of petty disagreements, unnecessary jealousy, or impulsive behavior that can lead to conflict. This ability to stay calm, even in moments of difficulty, creates an environment of trust and stability that makes a relationship feel safe and grounded. Take my friend Albert, for example. Albert, now in his early 70s, told me once about his younger years, how he would get into arguments over things as silly as a missed phone call or a forgotten date. He admitted that his impatience caused unnecessary tension in relationships. "I wanted to win the argument," he said, "but I never realized that winning came at the cost of peace." Over time, he learned that real love isn't about being right or keeping score. It's about being patient, listening, and finding solutions together. When Albert started dating Mary, a woman in her 40s, she told him that what she appreciated most was how he approached disagreements with calm and care. "He doesn't argue for the sake of arguing," she said. "He listens, and he's steady when I feel unsure. That's something I never had in my earlier relationships." This sense of stability isn't just about arguments, though. It's about consistency. Older men have established who they are and what they want. They're not playing games or uncertain about their intentions in a relationship. Younger women often find comfort in knowing where they stand with an older partner. There's no guessing or second-guessing involved. If an older man says he's going to do something, he follows through. That kind of reliability builds trust and makes a relationship feel secure. Let's be honest, younger relationships can sometimes be full of drama. Whether it's jealousy over social media, arguments about commitment, or insecurities that spiral out of control, younger couples often face challenges rooted in immaturity or lack of experience. Older men have moved past those struggles. They're confident in themselves and their relationships, which means they don't feel the need to compete, control, or prove themselves constantly. This emotional security creates a foundation of peace, allowing both partners to focus on enjoying the relationship instead of navigating constant turmoil. Another benefit of being with an older man is his ability to communicate effectively. Drama often arises when partners can't express themselves clearly or when emotions run high. Older men have learned to communicate with patience, clarity, and respect. They know that listening is just as important as speaking and that sometimes the best response is to simply be there and offer support. A younger woman, who may be dealing with the fast-paced pressures of work, family, and personal growth, finds comfort in knowing her partner can provide a sense of calm when life gets overwhelming. I remember a story shared by one of my neighbors, Paul. Paul was widowed and started dating a younger woman named Sarah a few years later. Sarah had come out of a chaotic relationship where every disagreement turned into shouting matches and tears. What she appreciated most about Paul was his ability to diffuse tension with humor and understanding. "Whenever I feel upset, Paul doesn't rush to fix the problem," she told me. "He listens, takes his time, and reminds me that everything will be okay. It's like having a rock to lean on." This emotional stability doesn't just come from age, it comes from the lessons life teaches over time. Older men have already been through their share of stress, heartbreak, and uncertainty, and they've come to realize that peace is far more valuable than drama. They don't waste time on unnecessary fights or games. They focus on building a relationship based on mutual respect, honesty, and care. For younger women, this emotional maturity brings a sense of security that's hard to find in younger partners. They can be themselves without fear of being judged or criticized for their feelings. Older men provide a steady presence, a sense of reliability that lets their partners feel safe and loved. In this kind of environment, love can grow without the shadows of chaos and instability looming over it. In the end, older men offer something invaluable: less drama and more peace. Their emotional maturity, patience, and steady approach to life create a foundation where love can flourish. For younger women who are tired of navigating uncertainty, this stability is a welcome and refreshing change. It allows relationships to thrive without distractions or unnecessary conflict, making space for connection, joy, and mutual growth. Point 8. Sexual experience and confidence. One of the more intimate and often unspoken reasons younger women feel drawn to older men is the sexual experience and confidence they bring to a relationship. It's not just about physical intimacy, it's about emotional connection, communication, and the confidence that comes with age. Older men approach intimacy with a level of understanding, patience, and care that many younger partners find incredibly fulfilling and reassuring. You see, as men age, they learn that intimacy is so much more than just the act itself. It becomes about creating a deep, emotional bond, fostering trust, and truly understanding a partner's needs. This comes from years of experience in relationships, in understanding their own desires, and in learning what works for their partners. Unlike younger men who may rush through the moment or focus solely on themselves, older men tend to take a slower, more thoughtful approach to intimacy. They've learned to value quality over quantity and connection over conquest. Let me tell you about my old friend Robert. Robert once confided in me about the difference between how he viewed intimacy as a young man versus how he approaches it now in his 70s. Back in my 20s, he said, it was all about proving something: speed, excitement, performance. But as I got older, I realized that intimacy is a shared experience. It's about taking the time to listen, to explore, and to connect with your partner in a meaningful way. Robert shared how his younger partner, Grace, appreciated his patience and attentiveness, something she had struggled to find in relationships with younger men who often rushed through moments of closeness. That's the thing about older men: they're not afraid to slow down. They understand that true satisfaction comes from mutual pleasure and connection, not just from getting there. Their confidence in the bedroom comes from knowing their own bodies, their abilities, and, most importantly, their partners. They aren't guessing or fumbling their way through intimacy. Instead, they listen, observe, and respond to their partner's needs with care and thoughtfulness. This kind of confidence can be incredibly liberating for younger women, who may feel like they can finally relax, let go, and fully enjoy the experience. Younger women often comment on how older men bring a sense of emotional safety to intimacy. They've learned to communicate openly and without shame, creating an environment where both partners feel comfortable expressing their desires, boundaries, and concerns. This kind of trust deepens the connection and allows intimacy to become a beautiful, shared experience rather than a source of anxiety or misunderstanding. Older men also tend to bring a greater understanding of foreplay and emotional intimacy. For them, the experience doesn't start and end with the physical act. It begins with affection, communication, and emotional connection. Whether it's through a lingering touch, meaningful conversation, or small gestures of love and appreciation, older men know how to make their partners feel seen and cherished. For younger women, this emotional connection often enhances the physical experience, making intimacy more satisfying and meaningful. Confidence plays a significant role, too. With age comes self-assuredness, a quiet, unshakable confidence that older men carry both in and out of the bedroom. They aren't worried about societal pressures, performance expectations, or proving themselves. Instead, they focus on the present moment and their partner's experience. This confidence is incredibly attractive because it allows younger women to feel more comfortable and secure, creating a space where they can fully embrace their own desires and needs. Take, for example, the way older men approach vulnerability. Many younger women have shared that older men are more comfortable expressing affection, offering compliments, and being emotionally present during moments of intimacy. This vulnerability builds trust and fosters a deeper sense of connection that goes beyond the physical. For younger women who may have felt rushed, unappreciated, or misunderstood in past relationships, being with an older partner feels like a revelation. It's also important to note that sexual experience doesn't necessarily mean wild adventures, or trying every new thing under the sun. For older men, experience often translates into knowing what works, understanding their partner's needs, and valuing intimacy as an opportunity for growth and connection. It's about exploring each other in ways that are fulfilling, comfortable, and mutually satisfying, without pressure or judgment. In the end, sexual experience and confidence are qualities that older men bring to a relationship in a way that feels genuine and meaningful. They've learned to prioritize connection, communication, and mutual satisfaction over performance or ego. For younger women, this thoughtful approach to intimacy is not only refreshing but also deeply fulfilling. It allows both partners to feel valued, cherished, and emotionally connected, turning moments of closeness into something truly special. And that, my friends, is what makes intimacy with an older partner such a transformative experience. At the end of the day, relationships are about connection, emotional, intellectual, and physical. The qualities older men bring to the table, from wisdom and stability to shared experiences and deeper intimacy, are what make these relationships so special. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support means the world to us, and we look forward to bringing you more content that inspires growth, joy, and purpose. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.